Hi, my name is Cleo, and I have two children with my husband. My son is 8 years old, and my daughter is 6.5. They're great kids. They're thoughtful, kind, and hardworking, just as I brought them up to be. Timothy is a budding football player, and Sophia is learning her way around a chessboard faster than I ever thought possible. They never caused any real trouble, and though they fought sometimes, as children will always do, I never had too much trouble with them. Which is why what my mother-in-law and husband did to them shocked me to my core. I run an online self-help website that gained popularity suddenly. I was invited to Berlin to give a speech, and because my husband couldn't take the time off of work, we had to invite his mother to stay at the house and watch over the children. I was to be away for a week, and I promised to call them every night. The first night I called, nothing seemed amiss. They looked a little tired, but before I scolded them, I remembered what my own grandmother was like. All play and no sleep, sweets for dinner and late-night movies. I thought that they were going to be having a great time bonding with their grandma. They certainly didn't complain about anything, so I thought nothing of it. Are you guys having a good time?
Yes, Mom.
What are you getting up to?
We've been in the garden today, and tomorrow too because of the snow.
Snow. Oh, that's exciting. Make a snowman to welcome Mommy home.
Yes, Mom.
The next day, I saw in the news that the snow back home had fallen much heavier than expected. School was closed, and most companies asked their employees to work from home. I called home straight away and saw my husband lounging in the kitchen with a cup of coffee. Did your work cancel?
Yeah. They said that the snow affected their systems, and if we can't access the servers, we can't work. I'm not complaining.
And the kids? Are their schools closed?
Yeah.
Well, I might as well talk with them if they're around. Call them in.
They're in the garden right now.
Oh, playing in the snow. Don't let them stay out too long. They'll catch their death out there.
Don't be stupid, Cleo. They're children, not kittens. They're hardier than that.
I was so surprised by his sudden anger that I simply accepted it and moved on. But I couldn't stop thinking about it all through the day. I was busy too, and needed to be on the top of my game, but I had the most uncomfortable feeling in my gut. I knew that something was off. I just didn't know what. I called later that night, and I saw my children again. Hi guys, how are you doing? Did you have fun in the snow? Immediately, Sophia starts to cry, and Timothy looks close to following suit. Oh no, guys. What's wrong? Did someone knock down your snowman?
We weren't allowed to play in the snow.
But your dad said you were outside earlier. What were you doing?
Grandma made us shovel all the snow out. Our hands are all covered in blisters. We're tired, Mommy. Please come home.
My heart broken. My children were hurting and scared. Put Daddy on the phone. I could not express just how angry I was that my poor children had been forced to work during such severe weather conditions. More so that my husbands hadn't thought to step in and explain that we don't expect our children to do dangerous jobs.
Hey, babe.
Don't you hey babies me. Do you know what our children just told me? Where have you been all day that your mother could have them out working their hands to blisters in the snow?
Didn't realize they were being so whiny.
Whiny? They were hurt. You should have stopped her.
Why? It helps build character.
They're children. They don't need to build character like that. They need to be cared for and talked to.
You're coddling them. They're not babies anymore. They have to earn their keep.
Are you crazy?
In the olden days, children their age would have become apprentices. They will work hard, and they were happy for the opportunity.
We're not in the olden days. We're in the modern age, where we don't die at 30 and children have the opportunity to properly grow. Don't you dare make those kids work another second. I'm coming home. The absolute gall of the man to think he can hurt my babies like that. By the time I got home, I had riled myself up into a rage. And to make matters worse, I found my two darlings in the kitchen, scrubbing the floor, dark circles around their eyes and trembling.
Mommy.
My children ran into my arms, knocking over a bucket of water on their way.
You filthy creatures, how dare you? Oh, Cleo, darling, welcome back.
Timothy, Sophia, go upstairs, okay? Take a nap.
You'll make them lazy if you keep treating them like that.
I don't care much for your parents' style, and you can be sure that I'll never be inviting you back to be around my children. It was like talking to a wall because she had no change in expression. I thought that maybe she had lost her mind or something.
I'm afraid that's not acceptable, Cleo.
I didn't ask for your opinion. I gave you a fact, though. Get out of my house.
What is going on here?
Thank goodness, son, your wife has completely gone crazy. She's screaming and shouting and telling me how to raise children, as if she knows more than I do. Honestly, you need to put her in her place.
Cleo, please talk to my mother with more respect. She has much more experience than you, and you should be pleased that she'd offer her motherly skills to our children.
I will not be pleased that she forced our children to do jobs that even adults find difficult. And I can't believe you'd go along with it, especially after I told you my opinion.
Don't talk to me like that in my own house. How dare you?
How dare I? How dare you insinuate that either of us has more power in this household than the other?
You people these days, you have no respect, no understanding of how the world works. Men are the heads of the house, and if my son says your children are old enough to go out and work, then you should listen to him. That is your role and a dutiful wife.
Dutiful wife? Is that what you've reduced me to? I was waiting for my husband to tell me no, to promise that he holds me in a much higher regard, but it quickly became apparent that wasn't the case. You are an idiot.
Don't talk to me like that. I am your husband.
Not for much longer.
You don't get to make that decision.
See, that's where you're wrong. I am the exact person to be making that decision, because I am the person who brings in the most money.
You promised that you'd never use that against me.
And you promised that everyone in this house was equal. You broke your promise first.
You're so flaky. No sense of commitment. In my day...
Newsflash, your day is over. We're in my day now, and in my day, I care about the well-being of my children far more than I care about your opinion. What you had them doing borders on abuse, and if you want to avoid prison time, I suggest you get out of my house right now. They looked at each other as if checking to see who was going to fight back, but I think my husband realized first what was happening.
I'll fight you in court.
And you will lose. Goodbye. We did indeed end up in court, and as I predicted, the case went in my favor. I walked away with full custody, the house, and 70% of our life savings. My husband moved back in with his domineering mother and was made to do work around the house and his regular job on top of that, all the while being reminded of his failings when his mother berates him for being such a layabout that he has to live with his mother. He sometimes visits to see his children and often looks tired and miserable. Thanks for watching. Please like the video so it can be recommended to others to watch.